This is the fourth eviction day in the race to lead Africa reality TV show season 3 house. Number 4 symbolizes stability, and if you've been observing, many of our housemates have been stable and firm in the house. Today, we will know if public speaking contest will shake them off, but time will tell. I'm Miriam Tolashe, and this is...
My name is Nat George, and of course we have our Georges in the house. Mr. Okuni Olarawaju, aka Okuni Olarawaju, no Mr. All right, and Agbola Adeshola. At the end of tonight's show, we will tell who is a good speaker and who is a great talker. Miriam, are you a speaker or a talker?
I'm a speaker.
Okay, all right. We'll find out at the end of the show. We'll be right back. Thank you. Stay tuned.
Welcome back. Expect to be bowled over by the speeches that these stars are going to be giving tonight, because a lot of preparation has gone into it. Tonight, each speaker is going to be having 5 minutes to go through the presentation. On the 4th minute, we will hear a whistle. That is a warning whistle that you have just 1 minute left to round off your point. At the end of the 5th minute, you will hear the final whistle. That will be telling you to please take your seat. Please endeavor not to spend more than 5 minutes. Thank you. Our first contestant is Igedo Destiny. Destiny is going to be speaking on the topic death penalty. Your time starts now.
Death, as believed by many people, is the penalty for sin. Ladies and gentlemen, listening viewers, my name is Igedo Destiny. I am here to talk about death penalty. First and foremost, death penalty or capital punishment as termed is a legal process of punishing those who have committed grievous crimes worthy. Death penalty over the years have been a controversial topic among many countries. While some are upholding the laws, others are abolishing it. Over 1/3 of the countries of the world are upholding the law up to this very moment. Countries like China, Japan, and Iran, amongst others, are still upholding the law, while countries like Mexico, Canada, American, and all members of the European Council are abolishing it. In 1976, the International Convention on Human and Civil Rights proclaimed that people below the age of 18 shouldn't be given this sentence. Instead, they should be given a lighter sentence. But the amendment was made in the year 2002 by the European Convention on Human Rights. Crimes that are accounted for death penalties include murder, terrorism, and human trafficking. But in some countries like Saudi Arabia, rape, bribery, adultery, homosexuality are accounted for death penalty, while in America, bribery and corruption and also bank robbery are accounted for death penalty. And in some occasions, during war, there are many cases of death penalties. If anybody is caught of planning treason or caught of espionage, even desertion, they are being given death sentence. And sometimes some people are being sabotaged. In case of Daniel in the Bible, when he was sabotaged and then thrown in the den of lions. And also in the authoritarian and totalitarian system of government, the case of death sentence was very rampant, because lighter crimes like theft, rebellion, and smuggling are being accounted for death penalties, and anyone caught of these acts will be given death sentence. And let's take the case of this Chief Femi Arewolo, who stabbed his wife of recent. he was accounted for death penalty because it is an offense worth it. And death penalties can be carried out in so many ways, including firing squad, death by hanging, and so many others. But people have their views on these death penalties. Some have positive views, while the others have negative views. In the positive side of it, they think that death penalty creates fear in the mind of the people, thereby helping them to curb evil acts that will lead to their death. While in the negative view, it gives no room for repentance. But my people, ladies and gentlemen, going by the third law of motion, which says that to every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. That is, to every action there is an reaction. To every foul committed, there is a penalty to be awarded. So to every sin committed, there is always a judgment. By this final note, I will say thank you.
Father Jubeki, your time starts now.
Good day, panel of judges, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and my colleagues. My name is Father Jubeki, and I'm here to educate you on abortion. Abortion. Start with, what is abortion? Abortion is the termination of pregnancy by removal or expulsion of a fetus or an embryo from the uterus before visuality. Abortion is not only the deliberately termination of pregnancy. Abortion can also be occur spontaneously, which is often called miscarriage, whereby this is the unintentional expulsion of a fetus or an embryo. Reasons why women go for some abortion these days are adverse or vary due to some reason. Reason like ectopic pregnancy. Ectopic pregnancy occur whereby the child start developing from the mother's womb, and this could put the mother's life at stake and therefore go an abortion. Inability to take care of the child. In employment. In a situation whereby both the mother and the father is unemployed, having 5 children, and by mistake the woman got pregnant, she wouldn't want to give birth to the child into an abject pregnancy, into an abject poverty. Therefore, she will go for an abortion. Lack of support from the father. This is when the father is not ready to take full responsibility in the family. Not willing to raise the child conceived as a result of rape or incest. This occurs when a lady is being raped and resulted into pregnancy. She wouldn't want to give birth to a bastard and wouldn't want to be stigmatized in society. Thereby, she will go for an abortion. Women of nowadays go for abortion without thinking twice. They don't want to know about the consequences. And these are the consequences of abortion. Perforated womb, that is, risks of damage to the woman's reproductive organ and her future inability to have children. Intense pain, pelvic inflammatory disease, cervical incompetence, hemorrhaging shock, and even death. Ladies of nowadays go to quack doctors for abortion because it is not legalized in the hospitals of nowadays. Preventing ways of abortion. Abortion can be prevented through these following ways: by teaching the young ones. It is the most important task for parents to teach the young ones, and most especially the teenagers, about the virtue of chastity and how to protect their body. Because the body is the temple of the Holy Spirit and must be protected and honored all times. Learn key biblical passage to defend the baby. Through the entire Bible, in the Word of God and the Word of life. Children are always seen as a great blessing, and so therefore, parents should try to go to these key passages to defend their baby. Lastly, in conclusion, listening to this question of mine. Imagine a woman, she got pregnant, and her fiancé was not ready to accept the responsibility of the pregnancy and got disowned by her parents. What would you have expected her to do? I know you think you ask her to go for an abortion, but obviously, I don't think she should go for an abortion, because if she go for an abortion, the mother is Virgin Mary, and she has just killed the Lord Jesus Christ, who is the Savior of the world, and none of us will be saved, not alone entering the word of God. I think with the cogent content, I'll be able to educate on abortion case.
You may start.
Good day, the panel of judges, my distinguished guests, my distinguished listeners, and my fellow housemates. My name is Helen Blessing. I'm here to educate you about bullying. I'm going to start by defining bullying. What is bullying? Bullying can be defined as an act of using force, coercion, and threat to intimidate and use aggression against your fellow mates or peers. The behavior of bullying is habitual and is usually repeated amongst the bully. I'll be talking about the types of bullying. There are various forms of bullying. We have the sex bullying, gay bullying, the legal bullying, parental bullying, and cyber bullying. But I'm going to be treating two types of bullying. Those are the cyber bullying and the parental bullying. The cyber bullying, this has to do with the use of technology to bully. And this can go on for a long time due to the lack of authoritative and parental supervision. And the cyberbullying can be in various forms. We have the one through messages, emails, and social network medias. Then parental bullying. You might wonder, do parents bully their children? Yes, they do. Parental bullying can be defined as a bullying in which parents place anger, stress, and increasing need to control on their words. And this turn will make the child to be overly aggressive and to bully their mates. In parental bullying, the American Psychological Association has already posted advice on their website for parents who seem to suspect that their children are engaging in bullying. That the parents should go back and check. They should examine themselves, look at the correction they set down for their children. Do they motivate their children positively with self-confidence building incentive, or do they motivate their children and peers with threat, any other form of punishment, or reprisal? The causes of bullying. There are many causes of bullying, but I'm going to list 3. The first one is depression. Depression on the part of the person who bullies the victim. The second part is poor academic performance. This also leads to bullying. And the third one is lack of self-esteem. This also causes bullying amongst students. Then I'm going to talk about the impact of bullying. Bullying has an impact on these three groups of people: the bully himself, the victim of the bully, and the bystander. The bully will, after bullying someone, will feel high and will want to go more, and will want to go deeper into bullying doing other things, and this might increase crime rates. It might get involved in crime. While the victim may be depressed and have low self-esteem, the bystander may feel guilty for not being able to save the victim from being bullied. Now, the solutions to bullying. The first thing is that schools should initiate programs that deals with the different forms and kinds of bullying. The second one is that parents should teach their children how to control stress. The third one is that Thank you.
Let's have you.
Good day, Mr. Chairman, panel of judges, the president of RASDA, Mr. Good ladies and gentlemen, my fellow students. My name is slogan from St. Joseph College. I am here to speak on the topic which is partisan politics and women. I will wish to tell you what partisan politics means. It is a form of politics, it is a form of policy in which members of a political party in multi-parties carry out conscious reasons. When talking about partisan politics, there are gender gaps to talk about. Gender gap in the sense that men feel superior to women and stigmatize against them. It will surprise many to learn and how the gap emerged from the time where the women were able to vote in the federal election in the year 1920 in Qatar fourth election. Men and women vote were automatically stable then, and democracy. But in 1980, we began Qatar election, which we now call gender gap emerged. What explains this gap? Men and women have different policy preference in the size of the government. I would like to tell you the difference between the democratic policy and republic policy. In the democratic policy, people in the democratic policy like to follow big leaders and big government, while the people in the Republican politics like to follow people with small government and rely on themselves. I would like to talk about the causes of partisan politics and women. 1, sex discrimination. Men believe they are superior to women. They believe that they are knowledgeable than women. Number 2, the insatiable quest of power by man. I would like to talk about the consequences. It leads to the destruction of peace among people in the society. And I would like to tell us about the solution. 1, sex stigmatization must be avoided. In the Constitution, we are all equal. We are all equal. We are all equal before the law. Both man and woman, we are all equal before the law. So sex stigmatization must be avoided. In conclusion, people believe men have the adequate knowledge about politics and government, while women are more supportive in government than men.
Reach to Lead Africa is here again. Africa's premier teenage cerebral and entertaining reality TV show is back with Season 3, The Emergence of Stars. For 30 days, 90 housemates of the Reach to Lead house shall battle for the grand prize of 2 million naira in scholarship and other fantastic prizes. The contests include words arrangement, spell it, public speaking, declamation contest, mambo jumbo, fastest and best, critical reasoning, mastermind series, the great debate and lots more, plus sports, parties, music, drama and plenty of laughter, showing daily on these channels. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. You can also watch episodes on our YouTube channel. Visit www.readtoleadafrica.tv or call 0802-315-7972 or 0818-331-9200. Produced by Reading Awareness Society for Development in Africa, RASDA. Read to Lead Africa Season 3, The Emergence of Stars. Don't miss a moment.
Good day, the President, the panel of judges, the accurate timekeeper, co-participants, and the distinguished audience. I am Attorney Goodness. I'm standing here before you to educate you on embarrassing moments. Embarrassing moments refers to a period when your ego or self-esteem is being flustered or disconcerted. Embarrassing moments is not comes in ways that you do not expect, but embarrassing moments are situations in which you violate some social standards. And embarrassing moments is different from shame in the sense that embarrassing moments is when you violate social standards, but shame is when you are morally wrong. I'll give an example. There was a day my parents sent me to the market to get soup ingredients, but on getting there, I saw people were gazing on me, on my feet. Before I discovered I was putting on slippers, but two different types. So I had to quickly buy what I'll buy and rush home. I couldn't even it was even a kind of shame on its own. Then I'll talk on the causes of embarrassing moments. First is privacy violation. The one I just mentioned is an example of privacy violation. For example, you might have dressed and you think that I'm okay, but when you get outside there into the public and you see people looking here and there, you look at yourself again that what else are we? Where else? Why are these people gazing at me? Another one is criticism and rejection. When you're criticized and rejected, you are prone to embarrassment. You're embarrassed and you are like, it made a fool of you, you become dull and such like that. Another one is awkward acts. When our emotional state of mind is discomforted, we'll feel awkward. We are not balanced. So there are times you can just sit and you just start saying things against your own wish. That's an example of embarrassment. And another one is the environment. For example, if your room is untidy and you have a visitor which you do not expect, you'll be embarrassed that is this the kind of place in which you accept your visitor. Then from here I'll go to the effects of embarrassment. The first one, you'll be ashamed. When embarrassment, you will feel ashamed for being embarrassed. Then you have fear. You have fear in you. You can also emigrate. You leave that place, you go somewhere else. Even as an effect of embarrassment, you're humiliated. Then from there, some can even commit suicide. Maybe the degree of embarrassment is so much that you are like the world is ended and you just go and kill themselves. Then there are some preventions to embarrassment. First, you have to keep your emotional state balanced. Then you keep whenever you speak, you keep your tenses right as you speak not against the social norms. Then you be yourself and you learn from the past humiliation. And from here, we go to how to cope with it. If any way you get embarrassed, but you can still cope with it. And first, you apologize. After apologizing, you can justify yourself like, I didn't mean it. After apologizing, you can even, out of humor, you can even laugh it out. Then remediation. That means where you've done wrong, you try and make amends. And this place, I would like to encourage everyone here that though everyone at any point in time may be embarrassed, it's not the end of the world, and is a situation in which you can even learn more and try not to make mistakes some other times. Thank you.
Good day to you, everybody on the ground there, to the president of this organization, of this educational foundation, RASDA, the president of Mrs. Bukola Joja, and to you, the judges, the panel of judges here, I say thank you to you, the accurate timekeeper, and my co-contestants, and my ever-attentive listeners. I'm here this day to deliver a speech tagged Effects of Cellular Phones. I know many people have been having this in mind, the effects emanating from this particular topic, cellular phones. Before I will start, I would like to expatiate on what cellular phones are. Like I said, cellular phones are a device technologically constructed for a specific function. It has been built, invented to send messages through a means. A message that normally it may take a long distance, but with your cellular phone, you can send it very quick and it will be very accurate. To start with, I would like to give you some advantages of cellular phones. One, cellular phones boost the educational morale of students, in the sense that students that normally, if they are taught in the class, they don't usually understand. Even the language of their teacher, they don't usually understand very well. But when they go to the internet and they browse some of the topics out, they understand more and more of it. And second one is that it enables the easier passage of messages from the sender to the recipient. In the olden days, you will agree with me that when our forefathers want to send messages, they will have to send someone ahead, like a month before the message will be delivered. But now, you don't even have to leave your bedroom. Just send the message. Within seconds, the message has been answered over there. However, cellular phones having advantages, and that does not mean that it does not have any disadvantages. Cellular phones, the first disadvantage is that it causes hazardous driving. Hazardous driving, you will notice, if you have been in a car before, those, like I say, illiterate drivers, they don't know what accidents are. Accidents, they don't know what it can cause. They will be receiving calls on the phone when they are still on the highway, which ought not to be so. I believe that if they are not within cellular phone or they are not addicted to it, they will never do it. That is one of the disadvantages of cellular phones. Second is the fall in moral standard. Fall in moral standard in the sense that students that are better academically, when they are addicted to the network, to the internet, they become maniac. They are always questing to go to the net. And in their quest to get more knowledge, to get more understanding of what is advanced in technology that is always advancing every day. They will come across many things that is not going to help them academically, like looking at pornographic pictures, seeing some messages, seeing some words that is not going to help them academically. Then they may be even initiated to the secret course. Talk about the Illuminati. Those things, they go there physically, they are initiated through the net. Not only this, you can talk about the teachers. Some of the teachers, when they come to the class, some of the teachers also come to the class to teach their students, but they will be receiving calls on the phone, which ought not to be so. I will like to tell you some of this also. Fraudulent processes. Students they are blackmailing others, sending messages that are not true to their fellow human being, to destroy lives and properties, which ought not to be so. I know that with this speech that I've delivered to you, and which has become a very materialized into our daily advancing life and in this world, I know that I've educated you more and given you some of the hints about the disadvantages and the advantages of cellular phone in our world. Thank you. My name is Admo Ayokunle.
Deborah, please start.
Good day, the initiator of this program, the panel of judges, my housemates, and the audience. My name is Godso Deborah. I am here to talk about gay marriage. Well, on the 28th of June 2014, we realized that 16 countries in the world had agreed to gay marriage. Some of the countries are Argentina, Brazil, the UK, some parts of the US, and Luxembourg is going to agree to gay marriage. That is on January 1st, 2015. That is going to make it 17, that's 2015. Gay marriage. There are many problems of gay marriage. One of the casualties of gay marriage is the definition of marriage. Normally, the definition of marriage is the union of individuals of the opposite sex to become husband and wife. Gay. A gay is a person who is attracted to people of the same sex as he or she is. So how are we now going to define gay marriage? Well, we say that gay marriage, is the union of individuals of the same sex as husband and husband or wife and wife. Well, that is some kind of question that you are going to get the answer to one of these days. Now, when you confront a gay about his sexuality, the gay is going to say that his mentality can't stop it. But there are factors that cause it, and the person can stop it. One of those factors is the family where he grew up. Now, his father may be bisexual or be more inclined to homosexuality. So when the father now praises homosexuality, the children are going to learn from it. So they will see homosexuality as a very normal thing. Again, it's also their sexual experience. That is, if they were abused by an homosexual when they were young. Let me tell you this story about a boy. His parents, they don't really have his time. They leave him in school for like 4 or 5 hours when they ought to pick him up. Then a man, a mayor of a city, he picked him up one day. He did not know that the mayor was an homosexual. He continued abusing the boy for at least 3 years. Then when the boy was 16. At the age of 16, his parents said that he should be coming home on his own. Then they realized that he would not come home early. He's not going to come home early, so they tried to find out. They now found out that their son is a homosexual. They started beating the boy. But really, is it the boy's fault? It's the parents. Also, it's the exposure of the maybe children when they were young to sex. For example, now, they have sexual urges. They were not taught sex education by their parents. So they are very, very inquisitive. Then they go to the internet. They learn about pornography. Then later they learn that they can satisfy their sexual urges by masturbating. When they continue masturbating, they may have friends, and they now tell them that when you are homosexual, there are no problems like pregnancy and all STDs, which is a complete lie. Then they are now going to be homosexuals, full-blown homosexuals at that. Homosexuals, they say that most homosexuals are cool-headed, and they are going to be very, very good in the family. Husband and wife, they are always fighting. But homosexuals, especially males, they are going to be cool-headed. The family is going to be all right. But now let us look at what a family is. Normally, a family, there's a husband, wife, and children. But gays, they cannot reproduce. And when they cannot reproduce, what's the essence of marriage most times? Now, if they may want to have children, then they are now going to adopt. When they adopt children, maybe they are gays, men, husband and husband, and they adopted a son. They are not going to be able to take care of the son very well. They may give him any gifts, all the toys that he wants, but they can never fill the role of a mother. Every child needs a mother. They can never fill that role. Also, they will not be able to treat the child very well. They will not be able to communicate very well with the child, because a mother can communicate very well with her children. Now, there are some things we can do if we have people who we know that are gay. We can, for example, we can tell them that what they are doing is very wrong, even morally. There's a Bible verse in the Bible book of 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 9, says that homosexuals will not enter the kingdom of God. So when we preach to them, we tell them that they can change it, then they can really, really change it. And we can also help them by limiting their relationship with other gays. We encourage them that they can end and they can stop their habit. And I'm sure that with this speech of mine, if we really take these measures and if we really understand who gays are, then we can be able to stop people from being gay and completely eradicate gay marriage. Thank you.
Good day, the initiator, the panel of judges, my co-housemates, distinguished listeners. Good day to you once again. I'm here to talk to you about blood donation. Well, I'll talk to you about the meaning, the terminologies, the importance, the benefit to the donor and the recipient, the safety precautions, and the adverse effects of blood donation. First, we start. What is blood donation? Well, to some extent, blood donation is a beneficial concept of the science of surgical medicine, which is the process of donating, of giving blood, receiving, testing, storing blood and blood components. Well, when we talk about blood donation is a process by which a donor, a volunteer, gives out his blood voluntarily to a person who needs this, who is the recipient. Well, we talk about the blood groups. There are 4 blood groups: Group A, Group AB, Group B, and Group O. In this group, we have Group O as the universal donor. The Group O can give any blood group blood, but it can only receive from A. Then we now talk about blood donation. When we look into our society in Nigeria, there's something that is rampant in our universities today, which is cultism. But if we look into the origin of cultism, you see that the beginning of cultism is a very good beginning with good aims. In 1974, the first God group that was founded then was the Sea Dogs. It was founded by the Nobel laureate, Professor Wole Soyinka, Professor Awe Maurice, and some others. Their real aim was to give the orphanages what they need, the less privileged, the widows, and also to donate blood. Now, what are they turning to nowadays? They are turning into killing and all other things. Well, and there's also the World Donor Day, in which people will go out to donate their blood voluntarily to those who need them, which is June 14. Well, now look at terminologies in blood donation. We have the donor and the recipient. The donor is this person who donates his blood out to person who needs this, and the recipient is the person receiving the blood. When we now talk about the importance of blood donation, there are 2 importance: to the donor and to the recipient. The importance to the recipient, it saves life. Blood donation saves lives. For an example, a girl needs blood. Without that blood, it will be dead. And blood is the survival of life. Then a person is ready to donate his blood. Definitely, it's saving life. Also, blood donation promotes friendliness, neighborliness, and friendship. For example, I need blood. You give me blood. Then we are friends. It will promote the sense of neighborliness. It saves sick people and saves the society at large. For example, the president of the nation is needing blood. Then a citizen is willing to donate blood. Then this is a way by which we save our society from falling down. We are giving life to the lifeless. A person that needs blood is lifeless. Then I am ready to donate my blood. Then I'm giving life to the person. It also reduces the mortality rate, which at the rate people benefit to the donor. It's not only the recipient that benefit from blood donation. The donor also has some benefits. Free health checkup. If you have gone to donate your blood, there will be series of tests run on you. You have to know your health, you have to know your medical status and all of that things. There will be HIV test, all other blood, leukemia test, all others. And this is a free checkup. No money is collected. So this is a benefit. We also have, it reduces heart disease. It has been said in the world that 88% of those who donate blood, they are free. They don't have heart disease and they are free from cancer. We also have some safety precautions in donating blood. We must test the blood before transfusion. Before we donate, the blood must be tested. And we must not donate if we know that we are infected. So this will not make the infection rampant. Then we have the adverse effect. We have the bruise, the sore arm, fatigue, and nerve injuries to the person donating the blood. Also, we have the effects of donation. If you are donating without the test, there will be infectious belief. In some places where the blood is unmatched, there is human blood. Then this may lead to the death of the donor or the recipient. I think these points of mine, I'm able to tell you more about blood donation. And I want to tell you that you may donate the blood today because it will save life. Thank you.
Good day, the panel of judges, my colleagues, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. My name is Akite Wedamlola, and I am to give a talk on the topic, which is the uses of computer. We are in the 21st century, and one of the major markers of this era is the use of computers. The 21st century is bombarded with computer. Our everyday life is filled with computer. I cannot just go into telling you the uses of computer if I can't tell you what computer really is. So a computer is an electronic device which takes in data as an input, process the data, and give information as output. And what are the uses of computers? To begin with, the computer has made the world a global village, whereas we can share information and communicate easily. For instance, I have a friend in the United Kingdom. Her name is Demi. Well, I've never been out of the shores of this country before. Well, I talk to Demi as if we live together. How is that possible? With the use of the computer. With this computer and the internet, I can communicate to anywhere around the world. And it boosts our students' education morale. Nobody is an island of knowledge. Even the wisest man needs advice from other people. With the computer, we can go to internet and seek advices from academias around the world, people that are better than us in our subject matter. Take advices from them, and that's what's going to make us better, a better reader, and he is a better reader. Computer is not only useful in educational aspects. What about business and advertisement? For example, this program, God knows how many people are watching us right now. And I'm sure Mrs. Ladoja didn't go from one country to the other, telling them I have a non-governmental organization. No. Through the internet, she opened the blog, put it there, and we have billions of people who are watching right now. And yet, she didn't leave this country. So many people heard about her. And that is one of the uses of computer. The computer advertises. If you're an upcoming star or an upcoming creative artist, and you want to advertise yourself to the world, you don't have to go from one place to the other. The computer has made that easier for us. What about defense? The computer is also used in defense. During wars, we have war machines like missile. A missile cannot work without being programmed by a computer. And when a missile is used for a country, that means the country has won, a victory is owned for that country. And then the subject of that country is protected from other external domination or control. But there's a saying that everything that has advantage has disadvantages. That's why I would like to talk about disadvantages of computer. To begin with, corrupt sites. Sites where videos like pornography are posted. These videos contribute negatively to people's life. We youngsters are the generations of today, the leaders of tomorrow. So if we are taking our time to go through all these stuff, things that will not contribute positively to us, what kind of leaders are we going to become tomorrow? What hope are we giving our nation? What land are we leading this nation to? What about crime activities? We have fraudsters, we know them, the Yahoo boys. They use the computer and the internet to carry out their activities. Even the Boko Haram. They use the internet to post videos and pictures of more than 200 Chibok girls who were missing for months, creating fear and terror in the hearts of people. And it increases the rate of fear. There is no peace. Chaos is increasing with the use of these computers. What about distorted information? If we go to the internet right now, they may tell us that President Goodluck Jonathan has leukemia. Is a lie. Some information that doesn't exist. Thanks to the internet, we get them. But some people put it there just because they want to be famous. A fame that will not do them anything. What about addiction? Some students right now, if you ask them what is the first letter in the English alphabet, they'll go to the internet to check about it. They don't read any longer. They are always depending on it. Even WAEC markers are complaining every day for this unacceptable English language. Some students may spell your, Y-O-U-R as U-R, or the article D for D. These things it's degrading our English, our reading culture. English in our own generation is destroying. And where are we going to? What kind of leaders are we going to become? So with this cogent point of mine, I hope you understand this topic and see with me how the computer has been in use in our society, both positively and negatively. Thank you.
Reach to Lead Africa is here again. Africa's premier teenage cerebral and entertaining reality TV show is back with Season 3, The Emergence of Stars. For 30 days, 90 housemates of the Reach to Lead House shall battle for the grand prize of 2 million naira in scholarship and other fantastic prizes. The contests include words arrangement, spell it, public speaking, declamation contest, mumbo jumbo, fastest and best, critical reasoning, mastermind series, the great debate and lots more, plus sports, parties, music, drama and plenty of laughter, showing daily on these channels. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. You can also watch episodes on our YouTube channel. Visit www.reachtoleadafrica.tv or call 0802-315-7972 or 0818-331-9200. Produced by Reading Awareness Society for Development in Africa, RASDA. Reach to Lead Africa Season 3, The Emergence of Stars. Don't miss a moment.
Good day, the initiator of this program, the panel of judges, my listening audience, my fellow housemates. My name is Ogaze Blessing, and I'm here to talk to you about recycling. Not everybody have heard about this topic before, but I'm here to educate you concerning recycling. At first, do you know, I want you to know that over 20 to 50 million tons of refuse is produced globally every year. Now, imagine what this will look like in the next 10 years, what the world will look like. So we have to do something about it. And that thing, the right thing to do is recycling. Now, what is recycling? Recycling is a process of changing waste materials into new products in order to prevent wastage of potentially important materials. Now, there are reasons. Materials that can be recycled include glasses, papers, textile, electronic materials. Reasons for recycling. The main reason why we recycle our things are to prevent wastage of potentially useful materials. Not everything is a waste. No waste is a waste, to say. Because, for example, a paper that has been used can still be reprocessed to be used for newspapers. When you recycle papers, you can use them for newspapers. Now, advantages of recycling. Environmental protection. It prevents air pollution. Instead of air pollution, through burning of our refuse. And you know that burning of refuse lead to increased greenhouse effect. And again, it prevents water pollution by landfilling. See, for example, a place where where deaths are being dumped. The rivers, the wells, the waters around that area is not safe. So recycling will help reduce the risk. And the second one is it protects the nation's resources. You see, our natural resources, it won't last forever. And if we keep on using it always, because we want to manufacture pure water, we have to take raw materials every time. I assure you one day we'll run out of this thing on time. But when we recycle them, we can still use them back. The third one is provision of employment. See, dumping of 10,000 tons of refuse, we produce 6 employment, 6 jobs to take care of the place. But recycling of 10,000 materials, we create 36 jobs. There's a difference there, a difference of 30 jobs. This will even help a nation economically. But we still have to look at the side effects, the problems of recycling. First one is contamination. See, all these things that we recycle, especially the water bottles, the rubbers, and maybe, for example, we take like a water bottle and want to recycle them back into a plastic pellet. And if we don't clean this thing very well, it will store harmful bacteria that are capable of creating germs and diseases, and even disease outbreak on the people in the community. And the second one is rejection. This is mostly common in Africa due to ignorance. You see, if you tell an average man that this pure water you are taking, do you know that the sachet has been recycled? The first thing his mind will go to is, oh my God, you mean that pure water, that sachet that is inside my gutter, some people usually pick it and wash it too? Oh, I won't drink pure water again. So now, the ways to control the problem associated with recycling is public awareness. And this is the area where we need the government to speak up on behalf of the people. They should tell the people the usefulness of recycling. And we don't need to burn our things, because if we keep on burning our things and dumping them up, we are bound to destroy this world with our own hands when we keep on doing this. Then the second one is training from home. The children should be trained right from home. The parents should tell them, when you do this, when you eat the biscuit, the wrappers, put them in a place where the people can pick it. You see, there are some, like those Hausa men, they come picking, like, to pick irons, plastics, and something like that. We should give it to them. And I think that when we continue with this, recycling is the best option for this country, because it will reduce all type of, reduce all type of pollution and any type of discomfort, and it has little or less side effect. Thanks.